All right, great. Well, today we're going to go through the Express POS Dealer Deliverable Enhancements. And this is kind of the distinction between what Express does, what POS, and what Advanced does. And we have some documents on it that we have sent out via email in the past. We'll go ahead and be happy to send those out. If you, upon request, just give us a call and we'll send you an email with the latest documents. Let's go ahead and get started. So, as you know, this is our Keystroke Live, and we do it every Wednesday at 10 o'clock Mountain Time. We'll move right on into the nuts and bolts of this. So the Express POS product, as you might already know, is the $495 list price per workstation. And sometimes dealers or resellers like yourself need to add some slight changes or modifications to get some enhancements to that product. But one of the things we want to make sure we do know is that Keystroke Express POS is in no way Keystroke POS nor Advanced. Keystroke POS has been around for 25 years now, and we're trying to make a simplified, inexpensive product that you can sell as the purpose of updating them in the future to the real Keystroke POS program or the Advanced POS product. The dealer deliverable enhancements I kind of use in a nutshell. If you're going to add one or two small things to the Express product, then the Express POS might be the right choice for your customer. But if you're thinking somehow that you can add all the features that Express POS has into, or Keystroke POS has into Express, once you're at about 3 or more enhancements, you're going to find out it's going to be very time-consuming for you as a reseller to manage or micromanage all their enhancements. And you really want to be looking at the Keystroke POS product, and I'll show you some of those reasons. We do have a document, and I'll get to this in a second just to show you it. It's kind of detailed. It's many pages of different things. But we kind of distinguish between the two. We have we call it the MDDE, which is the maintenance required dealer deliverable enhancements. And then we have some unrestricted enhancements, meaning you can go ahead and set it up, walk away from it, and hopefully it works. And if they have any problems in the future, you'll have to come back and then fix it, and then walk away, and hopefully it continues to work. And these are things like electronic scales and change dispensers, kind of some of the simple hardware things that aren't commonly used, but they might in one case need to have, let's say, a weight scale, and you can turn that on as a dealer, and then they can go out and use that. I'm going to jump right into this document. Down here below we have the Express POS Dealer Development Notes. So let me click a few things here, change my viewing. This here is a document that we've sent out via email, and we can send it out again if you need it. It talks about the dealer development notes, and the idea here is that we distinguish between the maintenance required and the unrestricted options of Express POS. And as you'll see them highlighted in different colors here, we've got the green regarding the maintenance required. Now keep this in mind that maintenance is required on a continuous basis. Maintenance for, and I'll show you a slide here in a second, maintenance for Express POS is $295 per year if they're current, and the dealer margin is very low on that, so you won't be making a lot of money selling software maintenance. So keep in mind that it's pretty much half the price of the product every year to keep up with maintenance. So some of your customers may or may not want these enhancements, or they may just want to buy a regular Keystroke point-of-sale program where they can go in, make changes, and know that, let's say in a year from now, that what you install and what's working just goes away and stops working because they didn't know that they are required to buy a software maintenance plan from you, the reseller. And so one of the big parts here, and this is this first paragraph, or in the first page, this paragraph, that there's a clear understanding that they must purchase a maintenance plan and continuously to use these enhancements. So keep that in mind. Let me just quickly go through this document. Just kind of page through it to show you what we're talking about. In here it talks about, and we'll go through this very quickly today, but it talks about how you should copy their data from your machine, from their machine, to your machine, make the changes, and then copy back the appropriate DAT files back to them. There is no DOLU or dealer-only licensing utility for Express POS. You can't go turn, let's say, the general ledger link on Express POS and then say, hey, I'll come and turn it off when you're done with it. It just won't work at all, doesn't happen. General ledger link's not part of Express, things like that. So keep that in mind when you're trying to sell this product. The Express POS is a low-end product, and it really pretty much gets people off of those standalone cash registers into a software product. Going down a few more pages, there are some different information here, like for instance the data port. This would be if you wanted to add on the digital sign controller, you could use the data port. That would be something that you would turn on, set it up, and then send them the files, the configuration file, that it would start working. If they needed to make changes, they would call you, you would get the file, you would go ahead and make the changes and send it back to them. So keep in mind that these dealer enhancements are pretty much for you to work side by side with your end users, selling them an annual plan, and whenever they need help, they call you. Even though they have an annual plan for us for updates, they're really going to be calling you pretty much for the support on these topics. It kind of goes through where you can download the Express setup, the licensing. This is a 12-page document. I'm kind of going to go through it kind of quickly, and then we'll get into showing you some different stuff. I think one of the things I wanted to show you down here, and here it talks about the configuration manager. There's different settings. This is where some of the settings you can actually turn on, like security feed and scales and change dispensers, but other things you can't, like for instance multi-drawer or till tracking. You really cannot use till tracking. So there's a lot of restrictions here that you should be familiar with before you say, oh, it's Express POS. I'll bet I can have 4 different drawers on one machine and every clerk can come in and do their own thing. Don't fool yourself. Keystroke Express POS is not Keystroke POS. Let's go back to my slide here, and we'll just go through some of these things. And by the way, we can email you this document here. It's the Express POS Dealer Deliver Development Notes. That's what we're just looking at. Keep in mind, okay, here we are, the maintenance required enhancements. The support is $295 per year for one workstation. It'll be a very rare case that you buy Express point of sale and have more than 3 workstations, because at 2 workstations it's just under the price of Keystroke POS. At 3 or 4 it becomes cost effective. And keep in mind that Express POS doesn't have back office functionality. It's what we call active logons. So it's $295 per year or $100 per additional workstation, so there might be $100 or $200 more. That's the renewal rate. We do have an expired rate, and your margin is very slim on this. I think it's $250 is what you pay, and so you get $45 on the maintenance plan. The dealer, you are responsible for buying the plan. This won't be a thing where, oh, they call us and they see a notice that they're going to expire and they give us a credit card and then you call us for your margin. These are going to be things that you will have to purchase for them in advance. So keep that in mind. That's your role in giving these enhancements to them, is that you're hopefully are making a very profitable situation for you to guide them through this process of moving to software instead of a terminal-based approach. And so let's just open it up Keystroke real quick, and I'll show you a couple of things. Let's just jump right in here. I'm going to open up a few windows. Give me a moment. And if you haven't seen the the Express POS recently. This is the login screen here. I'm just going to log in. I'm using just, I think, some sample tutor data. And so here's our regular sales manager. And as you notice, for instance, I'm going to go through a few things here. Let's talk about like price tables. If I hit insert, these are set up price tables that were set up in our sample data. This would be a dealer deliverable process, so I can pick different price tables. But I can't hit F3 here. I'm trying to hit F3 to edit them. I can't edit them. I can't change them. I can't change dates on them or anything. So if you decide to set up price tables in Express POS, and let's say the price table needs to be changed on a regular basis every month, so you'll pretty much sign yourself up for helping them every month and maintaining their price tables for them and copying the files back and forth from one machine to the other. Or for just a couple $100 more, you can go ahead and sell them Keystroke POS and they can edit their own price tables. But if you set them up, they can pick the different price tables and they do work. So that's one of the enhancements here. Let's take a look at the inventory records. This is just our regular stuff here. This is an Express inventory screen. You can actually have different database screens that have some more fields that are actually in the background, and most will work. Some do or do not work. For instance, like you can't do price codes, but you can do different price codes. You can do that, but I'm talking about the pay codes, for instance, where a food stamp item is either on or off in Express. It's not like a pay code for junk food, regular food, celery food, stuff like that. So these are some of the screens you can modify for them, but as you notice, there's not multiple screens. There's only one screen they can use. You can't add like 4 different inventory screens. You're going to pretty much get to choose one screen, but you can set it up and they can use it as long as they're on a monthly maintenance plan. And if they become expired, their screen will default to this screen and they'll lose the fields that you see on there. Some of the other things are the different, we have different payment types and so forth. Express POS is really set up to work with all the new end-to-end encrypted devices. It does not use any of the old, what we'll call legacy devices like the Ingenico 6550. It only works with end-to-end encrypted devices. So keep that in mind for credit cards. If they will need to use an old legacy device, they will need Keystroke POS. So here's what we would do if we wanted to make a change. I'm kind of going to flip-flop between what I already have open here. Here's my advanced POS. This is my dealer copy. So I can go in here and I can make some changes. And I'm going to go to Configuration Manager. And let's say I want to set up some different price tables. And I'm going to hit Insert, just call this one New. And maybe this one's going to be all items get 10%. Sorry, my time's bad. Off on. Let's not do that. 10% off. So this could be a 10% off Memorial Day, which was this last weekend. I hope everyone had a good weekend. And you can go through and set this one up. Say it's 10% off the base price. Save it. And now I can, of course, test it in Sales Manager here in my advanced just to make sure it works before I were to copy a file from point A to point B. So there's the regular price, $1.54. I can come down to my tax table and hit Insert. Sorry, price table, hit Insert, and select the new 10% off Memorial Day. And now it's selling for $1.39. So at the end of this process, we've set up price tables, we've tested them in advance with your dealer copy. The next step would be to copy the price table files, that's the PRC star.dat, from your machine to their live system. And in doing so, you would, if I were, I'm always a skeptic about at least reloading the module. I'm doing a little trickery here because I actually have both copies looking at the same place. And so right now we see our new tables there. I can go ahead and sell the same item. Well, let's find this one. It's $1.54 is the regular price. When I sell it, it's $1.39, and this is an express. So it works great, works fine as long as there's a clear understanding of what they want. If they say, well, every Thursday we get new pricing, I have to go change all my price tables, and I've got to do this, and you need to come by every Thursday morning and help me with my price tables, you might find it's a better option to sell them Keystroke POS or Advanced POS and not have to kind of give them some false hopes that you're going to be running their business for them because they've got lots of needs that you may not have known. But what they wanted was the $4.95 keystroke, but they wanted all the other benefits to that. So just keep that in mind that I think there's some great tools. I don't want to spend this webinar going through that 20 or 12-page document, but there's lots of good information there. It was sent out in a few different blast emails that we sent through Constant Contact with the Express POS being released, but I'd be happy to send them to you. So I'm kind of wrapping it up right now. I'm going to open this up for some questions here. Give me a second. And if anyone has any questions now, would be a good time to ask, and I'd be happy to answer those. Hold on, I'm going to fix somebody here who's got a reverb. Oh. Phone caller, phone caller. Who's the phone caller? Maybe it's me. Oh, there we go. All right, thank you. Does anyone have any questions for me about the dealer deliverable enhancements for Express POS? Well, you made my job easy. Please call or email. You can email support@keystrokepos.com, and I can pick that up. And if you'd like to get that document, we have actually another document I'd like to show you real quick before we end this. Got a lot of things open here. Give me a moment. This right here is a flyer that we really only give out to dealers. One of the things is we have this page 1, which is similar. You can give out to your end user. It talks about the Express POS. But on page 2 here, kind of shows you what some of the feature comparisons are. So you see Advanced has everything, POS has a few things, and when you see like the word available, you can actually turn those sales transaction types on as a maintenance required thing. It goes through some different things here. The digital sign controller is available. If there's a dash here like Matrix Manager, you're never going to get it unless you have Advanced. So keep that in mind that if it's not on this list, you're not going to get it with Express POS. And we'd be happy to send both of these 2 documents to you if you just call and ask, okay? All right, I will ask once again any other questions before we sign out. Great. All right. Well, thank you for your time. Call with questions and let me know if you have an email we can send you with the latest stuff, okay? Have a great day.